Most people waste over 10 years of their life chasing the wrong things. 10 years, gone. No rewind, no reset. Time slips by faster than we think, yet we live like it's endless. The truth is, it's not. Every day you delay, every excuse you tell yourself, that time is gone forever. I know because I did the same. I wasted years on things that never mattered. The lessons that could have saved me all that struggle, no one ever told me. I had to learn them the hard way. But in the next 8 minutes, I'll share what took me over a decade to realize. The question is, will you take it in before your own years vanish? Chapter 1. Time is the trap. We all think we have more time than we really do. That's the biggest illusion. We tell ourselves, I'll figure it out next year. I've got plenty of time. But blink and suddenly a decade is gone. Think about it. 2015 feels like yesterday, right? Yet it's nearly 10 years behind us. Some of us still think 2010 was just a few years ago. Spoiler, it wasn't. And that's how sneaky time really is. There's actually a psychological reason for this. When your days look the same, wake up, work, scroll, sleep, repeat. Your brain doesn't bother storing those memories as unique. Neurologists call this memory compression. Basically, the less novelty in your life, the faster the years seem to pass. That's why childhood felt so long. Every year was full of firsts. But adulthood, it becomes a blur. And here's the trap. We keep waiting for the right moment to act, without realizing those moments are silently expiring. If you're not careful, you don't just waste time. Time erases you. So what's the fix? You create timestamps. Break the routine. Take a different route to work. Pick up a new skill. Say yes to something you'd normally avoid. These little acts of novelty force your brain to slow down and actually record the experience. Because life won't feel longer by adding more years, it feels longer when you add more moments. Chapter 2. The Comfort Zone Lie. Comfort is tricky. It feels safe, it feels easy, and it feels good. But it's secretly one of the most dangerous places you can stay. Think of it like being wrapped in a warm blanket while the world is running ahead of you. Cozy? Absolutely. But progress? Zero. Here's why. Your brain is wired to resist change. It's a survival mechanism. The brain wants to conserve energy, so it pushes you toward familiar patterns, even if those patterns are actually harmful. That's why scrolling for hours feels effortless, while starting a new project feels exhausting. Your brain isn't lazy, it's efficient, but that efficiency can kill growth. And I know the mindset well. I kept telling myself, I'll start tomorrow. But here's the problem. Tomorrow always showed up wearing yesterday's clothes. Same routines, same excuses, same results. So how do you break out? You don't need to flip your life upside down. You just need what I call discomfort reps. Little acts of voluntary discomfort that train your mind like a muscle. Take a cold shower, speak up in a meeting once, start a tiny project you've been avoiding. These moments of resistance build strength because growth doesn't live in comfort. Growth lives in those small, uncomfortable choices you'd rather skip. Chapter 3. Focus beats motivation. We give motivation way too much credit. People say, I'll start when I feel motivated. But if motivation actually worked, my laundry basket wouldn't be permanently overflowing. Motivation is like a weak Wi-Fi signal. Sometimes it connects, sometimes it drops, and usually it cuts out right when you need it most. I've had days where I sat at my desk, waiting for inspiration to magically appear. Hours slipped by, and nothing happened. But the second I forced myself to focus, even on a bad day, the work actually got done. Here's why. Motivation is emotional fuel. It spikes, it crashes, it's unpredictable. Focus, though, is a skill. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that manages attention, can be trained like a muscle. And science shows dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, doesn't just rise when you start hyped. It rises when you make progress. Tiny wins trigger rewards that keep you moving. So stop waiting for motivation. Build focus anchors instead. 25 to 30-minute blocks, cut the digital noise, and set micro goals. Tell yourself just one sentence, or just 20 minutes. Once you start, momentum takes over. Motivation fades. Focus stays. Train it daily. Chapter 4. Comparison kills joy. Nothing steals joy faster than comparison. We live in a world where doom scrolling is practically a sport. You open your phone and it feels like everyone else is winning. Better careers, better bodies, better vacations, better lives. And suddenly your progress feels like it doesn't even count. But here's what we forget. You're comparing your blooper reel to someone else's highlight reel. Their carefully edited 5-second story gets stacked against your unfiltered reality. No wonder you always feel behind. Psychologists call this social comparison theory. Our brains are wired to constantly rank ourselves in relation to others. It was useful when we lived in small tribes. Knowing your status meant survival. But in today's world, that instinct is warped. Instead of comparing ourselves to 10 people in a village, we're comparing ourselves to millions of curated lives online. The ranking system is broken, and it's rigged against you. It's like grading your life against someone else's Instagram filter. The result will always be unfair. So what's the fix? You stop playing their game and start playing your own. Create a personal growth chart. Track yourself this week against last week. Did you improve even 1%? That's progress, and it's real. Because joy doesn't come from being ahead of others. It comes from knowing you're further along than you were yesterday. Chapter 5. Systems over willpower. We love to glorify willpower as if the secret to success is just trying harder. But here's the truth. Willpower is limited. It's like your phone battery. Useful in short bursts, but it drains fast. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wake up every morning and say, "Am I motivated to do this today?" No. You do it because the routine is automatic. That's the power of systems. They don't ask for permission from your mood. Psychologists call it decision fatigue. Every choice you make drains a little bit of mental energy. That's why you can start the day strong and end it mindlessly eating snacks at midnight. The brain saves energy by turning repeated actions into habits. Systems are just habits made intentional. And here's the kicker. I used to think I needed more discipline. Turns out I just needed fewer decisions. So how do you build this? By designing systems. Set cues like putting your running shoes by the door. Prepare your environment. Keep junk food out of sight. Place water on your desk. Automate the habits you want, and you'll need almost zero willpower to follow through. Because success isn't about waking up every day with superhuman discipline. It's about designing your life so the right action becomes the easy action. Chapter 6. Pain is the teacher. Nobody likes pain. We avoid it, numb it, or try to escape it. But here's the twist. Pain is often the most honest teacher we'll ever have. Think about the hardest moments in your life. The breakup, the rejection, the failure you thought you'd never recover from. At the time, it felt unbearable. But looking back, those moments probably shaped you more than any easy victory ever did. Science explains why. Brain scans show that emotional pain activates the same regions as physical pain. That's why heartbreak literally hurts. But here's the interesting part. After recovery, the brain grows stronger connections in those same areas. In other words, resilience is built through repair. Pain forces growth that comfort never could. I used to think my mistakes were wasted years, but now I see them as tuition. The price I paid for lessons I couldn't have learned otherwise. Here's the reframe. Instead of asking, "Why me?" When life hurts, ask, "What is this teaching me that comfort never would?" That question turns suffering into progress. Because success might impress you, but pain transforms you. And if you let it, pain becomes the teacher that prepares you for the life you've been avoiding. So let's close with the truths that took me a decade to learn. Time flies faster than we think. Comfort keeps us stuck. Focus beats motivation. Comparison kills joy. Systems outlast willpower, and pain teaches more than ease ever will. The good news? You don't need 10 years to figure this out. Life doesn't change in decades. It changes in moments. One decision, one action, can shift your direction. So pick one idea, practice it today, even for 2 minutes. And if this helped, subscribe, share, and return. We're building clarity and strength together. Remember, a decade of lessons can begin with one small decision you make right now.